Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on the Durango Hellcat once again, and what I want to get done today is get all that bad interstructure removed, get all the new interstructure welded on, and once I'm done welding that on, I can start fitting the outer skin. And how I'm going to fit that is I'll fit it, put sheet metal screws in it to line it up, and then I'll put the doors and the hatch on, make sure everything's going to line up, and then I can start plug welding all those spot welds I cut. So let's get to work on the Durango, get this thing done, and get that new skin on. I can't wait to see her. The back of the Durango is now fully disassembled, and unfortunately I found a little bit more damage. So I was planning on some damage, but there is some that I wasn't planning on. So this back wheel well, we knew it did get pushed into this interstructure, but back here behind the interstructure, there is this panel right here. So the wheel well on the inside is unaffected, but this piece, actually this piece right here is unaffected to about right there. So this piece is bent and I need to replace that. So I'm going to pull that off that cut, replace that, not have any issues there. Another thing that I wasn't expecting to be damaged was this inner piece right here. So all the way down here, it's fine, but up here it has a little crease. So I'm going to try to straighten this out. If I can't get it straightened out, most likely I'm going to just get a new one, replace it, and then not even worry about it later on because it will be straight, it'll be new, we will know that it's not deformed in any way. I wish the one from the cut was good, but as we remember, they cut the cut right down the center of this. So this is not good, and it's pretty unfortunate because I would drill the spot welds out and throw that on there really quick. On the inside, if I can't get this stuff straightened out, I will replace it. And this whole section right here pretty much goes all the way up to about the center of the door on the inside. So I will be able to drill all the spot welds out, leave this section in, and not have to worry about this section either, but we will see if I can straighten it out or not. I probably can get it straight, but it will be to how straight I can get it to my liking, because if it's not straight enough, I mean, I really don't want to have something like that just in the back of my mind, in the car, and it just, you know, kind of just one of those things that'll bother me even though I can't see it. So I'm pretty glad that I am where I'm at. I mean, that was a lot of spot welds to drill out, and you know, I had to do it pretty much on 2 cars. So we'll figure this out, and I want to pull that upper section right there really quick, and then try to bend this structure right here back into shape to see, because I already bent it back here. So right here it was pretty pushed in, and I put a piece of wood behind it and knocked it out, and it looks like it's pretty much where the other one is. I ended up using the lift post to pull everything out of the driver's side rear. So I was kind of worried about this side, and it did have that bar. As you can see, now that bar on top is actually flat with the other ones. So I pulled all of this damage out. I actually heated a few spots up to get all the damage out. And how I really was assessing this was I went off. You can see that door line right there. She's a little bit off still, but I think that's more just door alignment. So that was very far off. It was almost all the way up here. And I think that was because this bar right here was pushing on it. So I just kind of worked it and until it got that gap right there lined up, and I'll just kind of fine tune it. It's off maybe 1/8 of an inch, which isn't bad at all. So now that this is all fixed, I ended up pulling from this piece right here, which I'm going to end up ordering this piece just so I, have the peace of mind that this is new. I'm also going to pull the one off of the damaged, or the cut, because the new one is like $1,500. So the one on the cut's good. I'll use that. I wish this was good, but it's not. Also here, I made sure that this lined up with that wheel well. So this was actually over quite a bit too. So I pulled from up here, from right here, and then I also pulled right here to straighten this piece back out. I'm also going to replace that piece when I replace this, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, you can see it started to rip through, so I stopped pulling there. I think the best spot that I pulled from was I opened this hole up right here. Pretty much that's where the damage was. It pretty much, whatever it hit or rolled on, it pretty much took the grunt of the force right here. So I drilled that out, put a hook in it, and that's really what pulled this whole upper piece out. So I'm really happy that she is now pulled out, but I'll have to wait for that piece to come. And I don't know how long it'll take. Hopefully it's only a day or two, but if it's a little bit longer, that's gonna kind of hold me up. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll pull this piece off, drill all the spot welds out, pull that off, drill all the spot welds out, and then I'm also gonna remove this. So I'm gonna drill all the spot welds out of this. I really didn't want to remove this because it did locate the door hinge, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's just a little bit more work. And the reason I want to take that off is because I'm going to section this in where that, I guess people were saying that's a laser weld. So I'll section it in there, and I'm just really happy that upper bar is now straight. So then we'll have all this sheet metal back here replaced with new stuff, or pretty much new stuff, but we know it's all straight. And then I won't have to worry about working all of this damage out, because it's, there's just so much, there's just so many buckles. And once this thin stuff is buckled like that, it's really hard to get it straight. I could work it and get it re-straightened, but at this point, it was better for me to use it to pull the side out and not have to worry about anything further than that. So I'm glad that we're straight here. So let's start drilling spot welds out and get these pieces off. I now have 100% of the damaged sheet metal out of the Durango, and there was quite a bit of damaged metal that I wasn't really expecting. I did expect there to be a lot, but down here I didn't expect there to be some. So there was this piece for the hatch, and it came up like this, and it had a few creases in it, and it's medium high strength steel. I didn't want to have to work it out or deal with it. It's just a lot easier to replace it with a new piece since I have it off of that cut. This, fortunately enough, wasn't bad, so I didn't have to remove that whole section, and nothing in here was bad. There's no creases. It doesn't look like this has moved at all. And after I took that piece that was up here off, it really doesn't seem like this is bent. I'm gonna check it with the other one, but once I get that whole section of brand new inner structure right here on, I'm gonna graft it in. There was kind of an issue. I didn't think that this was going to be in the way, and then there's this jacking point right there. I didn't think that was going to be in the way, so I can't get to some spot welds. So I'm going to section it in right here, and this is the thinnest spot, so I'll just pretty much put a flange on it, overlap it, plug weld it, seam seal it. It'll be just as good as factory, and then it will have this whole brand new piece in, and I won't have to worry about it being, bent or having issues later on, or when I, pull a panel and then you could just see like a bunch of bent sheet metal, which most body shops would have just pulled that corner and called it a day, put a new quarter panel on it, and all that inner structure stuff would have just kind of been warped and bent. But we got everything taken off and ready to replace. Also, this upper beam, I was really glad that I pulled out pretty much all of that sprung tension out of it and got it level again before I started pulling all of this out, because the other door, or that passenger side rear door, kind of wouldn't line up. Well, I mean, it would line up, but this right here was, I can't remember if it was higher or lower, but after I pulled it, lines up perfectly. I'm very happy that I did that. Most likely there are a few scratches, I think, on this side, so I might paint this whole quarter anyway, and I'll paint both the quarters, I'll paint the roof, and we'll just go. Actually, I probably won't paint that whole side. I'll probably just re-clear that whole side and dust in a few areas that there's scratches on. But yeah, we're there. It's just kind of weird seeing it like this. My first thought when I bought the Durango was I wanted to make a cart. So I bought it with the intentions to build a cart, use the drivetrain for the Charger, and have 700 horsepower, 2,500 pound all-wheel drive Durango cart. The issue is it wouldn't be fun because it would be a lot of fun, but you could only drive it in nice weather. It couldn't be raining, it couldn't be snowing, and I could use this thing to replace my daily, so I wouldn't have to drive my truck all the time, which this would be an awesome daily. So I could carry a bunch of stuff, I could carry a bunch of people if I wanted to, and it's just gonna be really, really nice. Plus, I've seen these things marked up recently since there is a shortage and since they're a low production number car, that they've been $140,000 to $150,000, and the clean title MSRP on them is like $99,000. So I most likely can get close to 90s to 100,000 for this once it is fixed, even though it has a salvage rebuilt title. I know people are gonna laugh and say, no, you can't, blah, 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 but I have gotten a lot of money for cars that I've rebuilt and stuff like that. So I know what cars go for, but I don't really plan on selling this. I don't, plan on selling anything. I just sell stuff when people have the money to buy it. So I'm really happy with the progress. I have that panel right here coming. That should be hopefully here in the next few days, so I can get this whole section in, get all this stuff back in, and then we can get the quarter panel on it. I was hoping to have the quarter panel on it already, but unfortunately, I wanted to get all this bad stuff out, and I'm pretty sure you guys appreciate that I did get all this bad stuff and all the bad sheet metal and all the bad out of the car, just so there wouldn't be any issues later on in the future. So I'm gonna end the video here. I'm happy that we got the Durango where it's at. It was a ton of spot welds to drill out, sand out, and get her to where she's at. But if you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below, share it with your friends. As always, see you guys next time.